Hey, it's Larry. I want to walk you through two things happening in Washington right now that the media is either confusing on purpose or they're barely explaining at all. First, the Epstein files. I'm sure you're hearing a lot about the Epstein files right now. You've seen the headlines claiming that Donald Trump is panicking or lashing out or trying to shut down the release of the Epstein documents. It's not actually what's happening. This week, Trump commented on the latest release of Epstein related files, and he said essentially that the documents don't show wrongdoing on his part, and they confirm what he's been saying for years. He also floated the idea of legal action against the people who have continued to accuse him anyway. Now, here's the part that gets conveniently left out. Now, these documents were released because of a transparency law passed by Congress, and yes, there's still a ton more documents to go, but there is a process that they have to go through. But this isn't some secret trove that Trump suddenly discovered or that somebody else, found in a big closet at the Justice Department. And they're also not a list of crimes. Mentions in these files are not indictments. They're not convictions. In many cases, they're not even accusations. They're just, well, they're mentions. And yet the press is treating names appearing in documents the same way they'd treat evidence in a courtroom, which is wildly irresponsible. By the way, they're only treating names that appear in the documents as if there's some sort of guilty verdict selectively, only for people that they want. See, if the rule is everyone named is guilty, then, well, congratulations, you've just destroyed due process. And if the rule is only the people who we don't like are guilty, then, well, at least be honest about it. Trump's argument is pretty simple. Release everything, stop selectively leaking, stop pretending that implication equals proof. You don't have to like him to understand that point, and it's kind of a basic one for criminal justice in America. Now, contrast that approach with how the Epstein story has been handled for years, and I mean years. Powerful people were protected. Cases quietly died. Media curiosity suddenly evaporated when the wrong names might come up. That's why people don't trust this process. And frankly, that skepticism didn't start with Trump. All right, let's talk about the second story. It's this partial government shutdown. Everyone's looking over here at Epstein headlines and legal speculation, and meanwhile, Washington can't even keep the government fully open. We've got a partial shutdown because Congress can't agree on funding. Specifically, it's over DHS and ICE and tactics that ICE and Border Patrol are using. I know, shocking. Same fight we've been having for quite some time. The reality is both parties are playing chicken with each other and seeing who will blink. Federal workers are the collateral damage. Democrats are insisting they won't move forward unless certain enforcement provisions are stripped out, like, wearing masks and needing a bench warrant from a criminal judge, which is ridiculous. Republicans are insisting that they won't fund the government without those provisions, and so here we sit. Now, you're hearing from leadership the usual progress is being made and talks are ongoing and we're close, and Washington is always close right up until it isn't. And while politicians posture, people who actually work for a living for our government and are needed are missing paychecks. Services are going to be slowed, and the public is told that this is just how things work. But it's not. It's dysfunction by design. The crisis becomes leverage, and the shutdown becomes a talking point, and accountability disappears somewhere between the press conference and the next fundraising email. I bet you've gotten fundraising emails from politicians about the shutdown. So, here we are. Media class obsessing over Epstein documents without explaining what they actually are. A political class incapable of basic governance, and a public expected to just accept both of those things. You don't have to pick a side to see a pattern here. You just have to stop letting them distract you with noise instead of facts. That's where things stand right now, whether they want to explain it to you that way or not. That's how I choose to explain it to you. All right, have a good Sunday afternoon and evening, and we'll see you tomorrow on Groundhog's Day. All right, who's going to wake up with Sonny and Cher on the radio, right?